Well, is there any chance you guys would want to do a quick hits here? And this is just a question that I've thought of many times, and this makes it very relevant. If we could do a quick hits, who do you guys think was more valuable through their seasons together, Shaq or Kobe, to those Laker teams that were so dominant? I mean, this list has Shaq is 8, Kobe is 10. But who do you guys think was the actual, you know, the anchor? Which one of those guys, if they were taken away, would the team have definitely not won, a championship?
Well, we do know what happened when they took Shaq away, and Kobe was able to get one without Shaq, if memory serves.
Two, actually. I think he won back to back. Yeah.
So I think Shaq was a hell of a piece. I think when he, paired up with Dwayne Wade, after that, it really, it added up what that team was missing. The same with Kobe and then Orlando, obviously. I think they could have went on to great things, but you had to have a healthy Penny and a motivated Shaq together. So I would say Kobe was more valuable. I think Shaq, I guess if your linchpin was Shaq and then you have four role players around him, I don't think they win the championship. But I think you'd have a better chance of doing that with Kobe. So
that's funny because my initial thought was actually the opposite, just because of Shaq's dominance. Because they both, of course, said Kobe won 2 without Shaq. Shaq won, I think, 1 when he was in Miami.
Yeah.
Yep. So they both won titles apart. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, obviously Kobe was a much more well-rounded player, but Shaq was so dominant. I mean, I don't know if you put, like I said, kind of 4 role players around Shaq versus putting 4 around. Well, I guess, though, as I'm kind of thinking about it, that's kind of what they did in like 08 and 09 or 9 and 10 when they won those 2 titles with Kobe as the centerpiece. I mean, I think the next he was surrounded by like Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol, who were damn good players. But yeah, so I don't know, because my initial thought just at the start was just because of Shaq's sheer dominance. But then as I'm thinking it out, we're talking it over here. Actually, maybe, because, that's basically what they did with Kobe for those last 2 rings, is surrounded him by guys that were darn good. I mean, Pau Gasol may end up being a Hall of Famer. I mean, at the time, Lamar was damn good. They had some good pieces, but yeah, it was obviously, Kobe was the man versus those earlier teams. It was like 1A and 1B with him and Shaq. So yeah, I actually, as I moved along here, I think I agree with you guys. I think I would have to go with Kobe as well.
And I think the argument for the greatest player of all time is something to consider too. And there's only a handful of guys, I think, that any reasonable person, if you want to say that Michael's the GOAT or LeBron is the GOAT or Oscar Robertson is the GOAT, people will listen. You have an argument. You can throw Kobe in there.
Wow.
I don't think, and I would throw Magic in there.
Wow.
But I don't think people argue that Shaq is the greatest player that's ever lived.
We know Oscar isn't
looking
either.
at it from that perspective as well.
That number 12, there's no way he's the GOAT at number 12.
According to theathletic.com, he was a nice role player.
Yep.
All right. Well, Marty, do you want to close this up and then I'll sign off and we are done, ladies and gentlemen.
I kind of wanted just your guys' opinion on that quick hits. With the Shaq and Kobe, Mike said incredible. Initially it was a 1A, 1B. That was well said.
You could do it with Magic and Kareem. If you had to strip one of them off the team, continue on with the other, who would you take? I would clearly take Magic, but it does nothing against Kareem. He was one of the absolute greats ever, but I'd go Magic.
I think I could, because like the Kobe one, Kobe did it without Shaq is the centerpiece, where when Shaq did it without Kobe, Shaq wasn't the centerpiece. It was D Wade, obviously. Now, in the other case with Magic and Kareem, to me, that might be a little more interesting because Kareem he won 1 title without Magic, but Magic didn't win any without Kareem. So to me, that one would maybe be a little bit closer. You could make more of an argument for that than maybe the Shaq and Kobe.
Well, that can be a video for another day.
I know that's
Maybe
a
it
We
will
nice
take
be.
all-time
discussion.
great duos and see who we would rather keep if one of them had to leave. So,
But just for me to finish up that piece about Shaq and Kobe, you guys won me over. Honestly, I initially probably would have said I'd go with Shaq, but you guys, the way you explained it, you're right. I mean, Kobe continued to do it without as the key player. I'd go with Kobe as well.